Hi everyone, I'm making butter tart squares. So you do it in two parts. First is the crust. There's 1 cup of flour plus a 1/4 cup and 1/3 cup of packed brown sugar. And we'll give that a little mix around. Just kind of get it somewhat mixed up here. Brown sugar always has lumps, so you gotta work them out a little bit. Fork works good enough for that. I make these pretty often, so I'm pretty used to how it has to go. And the good go-to squares in my house. Okay, there's that. And this is a 1/4 cup margarine square. I find them handier than trying to measure what margarine. And I took this out of the fridge maybe, I don't know, 15 minutes ago. Doesn't have to be soft, it doesn't have to be rock hard, it doesn't really matter, just, it's almost better if it's a bit on the firm side, because then you can like cut it better. Get rid of that. And you can use a couple of forks, or if it's a bit softer you can use your fingers, but I like to use my pastry blender because you can like kind of slice it, and then just scoop it off with your finger. Alright, you get the idea. You don't need to see me do that, so we'll come back to it. But once you have it all done and you have your bits of margarine have to be like little bitty size, right? Size of small peas is what they say. So let me get that out of the way. And then this is a 9-inch square pan. Do not grease it. There's plenty of butter in the crust. It'll be just fine. So I'll come back after I got the crust ready to go. Okay, there's the bowl of crumbs. See, small bits of butter all through it. About like so. Doesn't have to be perfect because you just pack it into the pan anyway. So then pour the whole works into your pan. Somewhat evenly like that. Bowl out of the way. And then just kind of smear it around so it's sort of even. You don't have too many blobs in one spot. And then just, once you get it even, into the corners and everything. Don't pack it too far. Just get it in position first. And then just take the flat of your hand and just kind of pat it lightly so it squishes down a little bit. And then this has to go in the oven and bake. Oh, my recipe book's over there. Just a minute. It goes, I think it's 15 minutes. Hold on, let me just double check here. Yeah, sorry about that. 15 minutes that bakes for. And then we make the good stuff that goes on top. Okay, so while your crust is baking away, you can make the goo and goes on top. I like to use the big bowl. Clean bowl, of course, not the other one you've used. And just get the 2 eggs going. A little bit. Gives you enough room to whisk. And then you put in, let me just double check this, the sugar. This is a 1 cup of packed brown sugar. In she goes. And mix that around. You can just use a spoon if you want. I just like to do this part with the whisk because then you can kind of whack up the brown sugar chunks a bit better. Although if you get a chunk of brown sugar, it's not the end of the world. Kind of good. And once you get the raisins and everything in there, it's going to have lumps in it anyway, so it's not the end of the world. Okay, there we go. So that's it for that. Now, consult the recipe. Okay, I got everything measured out. All right, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a 1/2 teaspoon baking powder, 1 teaspoon of flour, helps it kind of come together better. Okay, give that a stirring. Sorry about the rattling. Let me get my utensils out. Okay, so give that a slight mix to get it going. And then you need a 1/4 cup of melted margarine. I just zapped it in the microwave for a little bit. Pour that in there. And a teaspoon of vanilla. Eking out my Mexican vanilla. There we go. That was maybe a little bit extra, but that's okay. A little extra vanilla is not going to hurt anything. And I have a cup of walnuts. And about the same of raisins plus a cup. So forgive me while I measure because I don't have that many cup measurers. Put it in a bowl. Okay, there's the 1/2 cup raisins. And then you do a full cup of raisins. When I was a kid growing up in the 70s, my grandma would make butter tarts, which you can still do. You can make your own pastry or buy them or whatever and put this stuff in them. She always put black currants in as well as the raisins and walnuts. But I'm not a huge fan of black currants, although they're okay. So there we go. Alright, I've got everything now. Yes, okay, now I'll give the whole works a good stirring up. I still have the timer going for my crust. It's not done yet. But once it's done, you don't have to wait or anything. You can just take the crust out of the oven and dump this right on top and then put it back in the oven. The second baking is for about 20 minutes or so. Everyone's oven's different. I usually find the 20 minutes is pretty good with mine though. It sort of has to go like kind of golden brown and firm up a bit, you know, not too jiggly and bleh. You'll be able to tell when it's done. So that's what it looks like. That'd be really good over ice cream, except for the raw egg part. Okay, so there we go. That's that. You don't have to change the oven temperature or anything. It's still 350 for the next baking part too. There we go. Okay, there's the butter tart squares out of the oven. See how nice and brown and golden they are? In the middle is like, it's kind of firm. You know, you don't really squish in too much. It's kind of semi-pulled away slightly from the pan. You're going to have to take a knife though. That's what I usually do and just run around the whole thing. Just make sure it doesn't stick. But it's pretty good. Let them cool before you cut them. Otherwise they'll just gush everywhere. The recipe says to cut it in 36 squares. It usually winds up being more like about 12 for a 9x9 pan. Because we love them so much. So we'll try one later on when they get cool.